In the history of television, I don't think anybody has had a better run or more successful run than Michael Landon. From the early days of Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie, Highway to Heaven, it's been remarkable. And he is the executive producer, director, and the star. And we'll also come to your home with a print of a new television? How long have I been in television and can't say that word? A new television movie called Where Pigeons Go to Die, which will be on January 29th at 9 on NBC. Would you welcome Michael Landon? What's going on here? All right.
Huh?
All right. Why the tuxedo?
John, I'd like to say it was for good taste or something, but it was a big mistake on my part. I thought I was here to plug a movie called Where Penguins Go to Die.
Is that the name of the... Is that the name of the movie?
No, it's Pigeons. Pigeons.
I thought you were putting me on.
Oh, I am putting you on. John, I love it when he takes
You know what I'd already done? I'd already fired one member of our staff. I said, how could you give me a title Where Pigeons Go to Die when it's penguins?
No, it was...
Did you think the Grammys were tonight or what? The Oscars?
No, I'll tell you what happened.
You're going somewhere after this, obviously.
No, you know my wardrobe, right? I just came back. I was gone for 4 days.
Right.
I bring everything in a clothes bag. Well, you know me. I've got a pair of slacks. I've got a sport coat.
Right.
I have a suit. They're wrinkled.
That's it.
So now I'm ready to come to the show. And I've got the same, you know, the denims that I didn't bother to have hemmed, that I have cut off, and the strings hang.
Yeah.
And my wife said, don't embarrass me again. So I put on a tux. Hi, honey.
Hey, you look sensational. You look great. Very nice. I did.
Actually, a dark suit isn't bad after the Noriega bit either.
One of the most successful television people and one of the more cruel people also. Well, it didn't go badly. You know,
it was great.
We don't have a chance to take this stuff out of town. You know, we put it together, we come out here, these people are the judge and the jury.
I don't think people realize how difficult it is.
Well, I'm not begging for sympathy or anything, but I mean, when you do a show, you film it, you can look at it and say, hey, I didn't like that scene, you do it again, right?
And not when it's my money.
All right, when you're not the producer. When you're not the producer.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so you can get it as nicely as you want it, right? We don't have that luxury here on this show.
And you don't need it.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
What a cheap stunt to get applause.
I know it. I know it.
But it is Where Pigeons Go to Die.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, all right. Now, you came back from a thing called the NATP?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me see if I get this right. The National Association of Television Producers and Executives, or what? Is that it?
I don't know.
I was
Well,
afraid
you
to
were just
ask.
there. NATP, what is it?
But I don't know either.
It's the National Association of...
Now, if somebody says it's NatP, you just lay off.
Television Program Executives.
I thought it had something
National
to do with
Association
bug
of
collecting
Television
or something.
National Association of Television Program Executives.
Right.
Is what that is. Now, what do you do with that?
You take pictures with people who come by the booth and you sign autographs.
It's really kind of like a shopping mart for television product, isn't it? Something
Yeah,
like
and
that?
it's much different this year. It's very international. A lot of I must look a lot different on other television sets in various places.
Yeah?
Yeah. People came up, like this guy from Scotland. I love your show. I never miss it. Yeah, I'd love to see that black car you have that talks. Yeah.
But your show's played, and I know Bonanza played all over the world in many
Bonanza ran.
languages.
It was shown in I believe 137 countries.
That's incredible. And dubbed into that language, or whatever it was.
It was only watched in about 64 of them.
But shown, actually, you know.
Otherwise, it would have.
So now you go there to what? To sell some shows to these people?
Well, I've got Highway to Heaven in syndication.
Excuse me,
so
I'm sorry, I spilled my coffee.
Oh, let me get that.
No.
No. I go over to your house and do your windows. Why not then?
Okay. As I mentioned, the audience applauded when I mentioned, Bonanza and Little House and then Highway to Heaven. But did you ever make a pilot for television that was a real stinker?
Oh, yes.
I mean, a bomb. I've never talked about it.
I'm so glad you asked.
You made a show that you thought was great.
I made a show years ago before Bonanza. It was a half-hour show, and I played a character named Johnny Risk.
Johnny Risk? That's a typical television name.
Wait till they get a load of me. You should have seen this show. I was 19 years old at the time and looked a good solid 14. So the whole idea was they were going to make me look older and bigger because I was supposed to be, I owned a gambling ship in the Yukon. Right? And at that time,
I like it so
at
far.
that time, I was about 130 pounds, right? 14 years old looking. So they got me, Alan Hill Jr. as my sidekick, you know. Giant guy. And Lou Ayres played my brother.
Right.
So I looked like about a 6-year-old midget in this show. And I had, everybody had Yukon clothes on, you know, the tough stuff?
Right.
I got puff sleeves with
Yeah.
lace cuffs. I got a lot of mail.
Did it ever see the light? Did this ever see the light of television at all?
No.
Johnny Risk. Do you still have some of those films around?
Why would I keep that?
I know, but next time, wouldn't you like to bring
I have some stuff, yes.
bring some of that next
I
time
would
you
love
come and
to.
let's take a look at Johnny Risk? I mean, you know.
I don't know if that one's available, but I've got some other things.
Okay, let me take a break. We're coming right back. Stay where you are. Dig one of those things out. Well, does that get you,
That'll wake you up.
does that get you reminiscing about your early musical career?
Oh,
Did we
yeah.
ever talk about that?
Huh?
How many people would know that you at one time toured with Jerry Lee Lewis?
That's correct. Yes.
Now,
Yes,
was that pre Johnny Risk or after Johnny Risk?
that was just post Teenage Werewolf.
That's
I mean, a movie like that will launch a lot of careers for a guy, you know what I mean?
So you went on tour
I went
as a
on
performer.
tour. Went on tour with Jerry Lee, and we played a lot of dances.
Do you remember any of the stuff you used to do?
Well, how could I only knew one song. I
What was
sang
that?
it 8 times.
What? How's it go?
Give me a little kiss, will you, huh?
What about
And
that?
Jerry Lee would always know where to run when it was over.
Yeah.
Because record hops in those days were 3,500 girls and 4 guys.
That's right.
And the minute the song was over, oh yeah, it was like a thundering herd.
History out of it.
Oh, and he'd have himself locked in the ticket booth, and he knew where to go.
Now, outside of doing this movie, which we're going to show an excerpt from in a moment, do you miss the regular schedule? I mean, you've been so active over the years, you know, going to shoot every other day, and now you got a little more time on your hands. Have you found it easier to relax?
Yeah, I thought I was going to go crazy 30 years straight of doing a series, and I wanted to take some time off. I just didn't know how it would set, and it's really been a great time for me.
And you moved in a new house, I know.
Moved in the new house. Of course, I did that the right way. I went and shot a movie while my wife did that. And
Good thinking.
but most of the time was vacations and being able to go to my kids' school with them and not missing any of the assemblies.
Where's vacation for you? What's it like?
We went to, I like scuba diving, and
Yeah, me too.
so we did a lot of, we went to Tahiti and Moorea and
Oh, that sounds great.
Hawaiian Islands, and we just had a great time.
Hey, let's scuba.
Yeah.
Now, about the movie, which is going to be on NBC, where not penguins, we're pigeons.
Where pigeons go to die.
Go to die. It's an unusual title.
It's from a book, and I don't think NBC was thrilled with the title, but I don't think you have the right to change the title of a man's book, and it's a lovely book. And Art Carney plays the grandfather, and a little boy named Robert Gorman is the grandson. And then I'm the boy 40 years later in another portion of it. And I think the clip we have is it's a little scene in a truck. The kid has asked his grandfather if he could go to, there was a 95-year-old guy who died, and he wanted to go to the funeral with the grandfather. But only because he wanted to see a dead person up close, which is a curiosity that kids have. And after looking at the man, this is the scene that takes place in the truck driving home.
Okay, watch the monitor.
Well, what did you think?
I didn't like it.
Did it frighten you?
A little bit, but that wasn't it.
What then?
He had makeup and rouge on his lips.
Little attendances upon the dead, you. To ease the harshness. Foolish in its way.
He should have had his own face to carry away with him.
You'll see to it that I have my own face, won't you? I want my own face. I want my own suit on my back. Not a new one. Just for the occasion. And I want shoes on my feet, even if they can't be seen. And I want to be home. I was born on a bed at home, and I saw my children born the same way. I want to die likewise. Listen to me. Putting burdens on a boy.
I don't like you talking about dying, Da.
I know.
I'll see to it, Da.
What?
What you were talking about and I don't like you talking about. We'll see to it. I promise.
That's a nice little scene. That's a nice little scene. You know, Connie, had you ever... Art Carney's had a remarkable career. Most people remember from, from The Honeymooners, of course, but he's had such a versatile career. He can plays anything, doesn't he?
Yeah. And
had you ever worked with him before?
No, and I'd never met him before.
Yeah,
and
nice guy, isn't he?
I met Art at the airport, and if you really love somebody's work, and over the years, you desperately hate to be disappointed. And believe me, when you meet Art Carney, you're not disappointed.
Yeah.
He is everything you'd want Art Carney to be. It's just a terrific
Anyway, the
guy.
movie plays on NBC January 29th at 9 o'clock. Look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We're coming right back. All right.
Huh?
All right. Why the tuxedo?
John, I'd like to say it was for good taste or something, but it was a big mistake on my part. I thought I was here.
Anybody has had a better run or more successful run than Michael Landon from the early days of Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie, Highway to Heaven. It's been remarkable. And he is the executive producer, director, and the star. And we'll also come to your home with a print of a new television? How long have I been in television and can't say that word? A new television movie called Where Pigeons Go to Die, which will be on January 29th at 9 on NBC. Would you welcome Michael Landon? What's going on here? In the history of television, I don't think